good.
We'll bring this October 11th, 2022 meeting of the Board of Selectmen to order. Welcome everyone that's here, both in person and on Zoom. Is there anyone here that wishes to speak to something that's not on the agenda tonight? There being nobody, we'll move.
I just want to mention that when you get to
Can you state?
Sandy Crystal, wasn't sure if you drive. When you get to the minutes, I just have a additional entry that I want to put on there.
Okay.
I know you usually fly through that.
Yeah. So we'll start with the public hearing. David, we have a hearing that we brought up last time, but we continue with this meeting regarding the FEMA grant.
Yes, this is a FEMA grant for our actions for the COVID-19 pandemic. These are mostly for our emergency management director and operations, $58,880.02.
All right, so we'll go ahead and open the public hearing in accordance with RSA 3195B regarding acceptance of the funds from FEMA that David just referenced. Does anybody wish to be heard on that? There being no one, we'll close the public hearing.
Can I make a motion that we accept, in accordance with RSA 3195B, that we accept $58,880.02 from the Hampshire Department of Safety Federal Emergency Management Agency Disaster Relief COVID-19.
Second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
That passes unanimously. Meetings, we have the both police department here. Looks like we got most of it here tonight. So welcome.
Yeah, who's watching the roads, guys?
More importantly, where's the board?
I go grab him for you. All right.
Awesome.
While he does that, can I make a motion that we approve Tim Fish, Colleen Hunter, and Brian Murphy to the Community Buildings Committee?
Well, we have to go through their charge. So I don't know if we want to.
Apologize, I thought this was a motion.
No, so we need to go through any proposed changes to the charge or whether you all accept it now, so. Waiting me for. I was concerned, I saw y'all sitting there, no Boris, and I was like, what's the nickname Boris?
Awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Loves first grade, loves the. He had a hard time because his best friend in first grade moved. He had to deal with the loss of that. He's holding auditions for new best friends. So hard.
It is hard. It's hard.
Such a great
It is a great game, but it's happy. This is teacher.
kid. She's new. She's only been in college for 3 years.
Okay.
Very good.
Awesome.
Both.
Well, I know what you mean.
You want to go somewhere?
Approve the consent agenda?
Can you go ahead? Any discussion? All in favor?
There's one extra item in there.
Just, I wanted to make it a public record, I amended the agenda to add the sewer warrant that Jeff gave me today, and then the conservation easement that you all had approved on September 14th. The
Right.
attorneys did their revisions, it's all ready for you to sign.
Yeah, that was the consent agenda that we have in front of us.
Yeah, I amended it, I just wanted to.
All in favor? Opposed? None passes unanimously. Boris.
Let's go outside.
Here comes Boris.
Boris.
Boris. How old is he?
Just over a year. So we did down in Boston doing training, started with obedience and worked our way up from there. We're doing a little bit of tracking now, building searches and stuff.
How long before Boris is ready to go full time?
We'll have another 10 weeks. 10 weeks out of them. So,
What a good look.
yeah. Nice.
I'm always asking more interesting questions. How are you making out, Matt? You know?
It's quite the change.
Yeah, well, it can be, I mean, you used to get called out at all hours of the night, right? And day, you know, so I'm sure it's a big change for you. Appreciated you doing it. 9 years?
Yeah.
Appreciated you doing that for 9 years.
How's he doing?
Good.
I was just gonna say,
Not,
that's
not
right.
totally transitioned yet, but
Yeah.
we're working on it.
Yeah.
She still wanna go to work with you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
How do you deal with that?
Well, the girlfriend's home with her, so.
Run.
I feel bad because
Just shepherd.
she doesn't understand.
This shepherd.
Just shepherd, yeah,
Straight shepherd.
So,
right?
Beautiful.
So well tempered, he's not crazy aggressive and he's not crazy nice. He's kind of level headed right now, which is
Right.
good.
Well, it's
So-
good for a 1-year-old, right?
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
So, he's been doing great. No issues so far in training. Obviously, it's a dog. We could have issues down the road, but that's life. How it goes.
That'd be like,
Yeah, right?
so far so good.
Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome.
Any questions about training right now?
No, you're still working with the state police, right? Is it?
No, so we went to the Boston Academy.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh,
State
okay, 'cause I
police
thought we had an agreement with the state police or something.
We did, they were prolonging their academy to get more guys in their class. Right now, we end up jumping on the Boston bandwagon down there.
Oh, good.
But that same type of training,
Mhm.
same qualifications and everything.
So will you transition at some point to the state police, or will it always be a Boston division?
That's definitely an option. I know Lieutenant Pratt is trying to open that door for us to train with them once we're done.
Once he's trained, he'll be trained on both drugs and
So the drugs is after the normal patrol school. This is opening and teaching me how to do my job. So,
Can you make them sick of children abortion?
not yet. We're working on that. We're working on it.
We'd like to see that.
I tell you, that was one of the most interesting rides when I went out with Matt there a couple of years ago now, having that dog in that car, just back up in the sport. Sucker wanted to get out. So, yeah, it was just really interesting to kind of see it firsthand. So kind of glad we're replaced. We were able to replace the dog.
No, we definitely appreciate it. And I know Lieutenant Pratt has said before that even just having a marked K9 cruiser in town that says K9 deter criminals from coming in and doing things they shouldn't be doing. Having a dog bark in the back of the car like you heard is a huge deterrent for people thinking of doing something not so bright on a car stop. So which is great.
I can see where Boris would be intimidating.
Yeah, right now, yeah.
He's a little out of his
I
own.
know.
Yeah, we'll get there.
I saw Boris that night.
yeah.
I'd be concerned.
Yeah. Anything you need from us?
I don't think so. We know.
Have we done a kind of press release to the town and thank the donors?
I believe so. In the bulletin, I think they put out.
So we did the retirement announcement, then we gave it a couple of days. That's actually right?
What was there?
Well, I've got you a captive audience. How is working out, guys? I know this was an addition last year. I got you here. I'd like to know how some of these changes we've made and decisions that we've improved are working out for you guys.
So much better.
Yeah, okay.
Absolutely.
That's good to hear.
They blended.
Yeah.
And when we first heard, oh, they're gonna be tactical, it's gonna. You didn't know you would.
Yeah.
It's awesome. All right, well, keep us in the loop. Can you, guys, we thank you, appreciate it.
All right. Perfect.
Gonna jump on the seat.
I don't think so. It probably won't end well, right?
Well, appreciate you guys. Appreciate you coming in. Thanks, guys.
Welcome aboard.
Great.
Next up is Tim Fiscal, Colleen Hunter, and Brian Murphy on the Community Building Committee.
Yeah, they
Would
presented,
like to come up and chat.
See you guys.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you.
Give us some background on this, David.
yeah, the group now soon to be committee. This charge. It doesn't, but here's my recommendation, it doesn't necessarily have to be a permanent thing in the town code, we can just draw it up with the charter group. but they did come up with, the charge of what they feel, that, you know, we would want them to do. And then it'll consist of 7 voting members, 1 selectman, 1 member of building facilities, and 1 student from Bow High School, and then the rest will be citizens.
Is there anything either of you would like to, let us know before we discuss what your proposal is? Any highlights you want to give us?
No, Brian Murphy, 15 Vaughan Road, and no, I think the charge in the previous conversation at the previous select board meeting is what we want to present to you to vote on.
All right. Well, thanks for putting this together at our request. So is there any discussion or questions from the board about the proposed charge?
Does this committee, report, is this a subcommittee of the building and facilities? committee?
Not the way they're proposing it. They're proposing a separate committee.
Okay, so would you be,
They would report directly to, make recommendations to the.
directly to us?
But I think I'd ask that you'd have somebody on the building committee, correct?
They-
Right,
yeah.
again, yeah.
That's what you are, yeah.
Yeah, we, in the charge, we do mention one of the voting members would be a member of the Buildings and Facilities Committee that's currently established.
And we've already had conversation with Chris Andrews in regards to having him available to come to our meetings.
Subject matter expert.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Is there a, have you kind of established sort of a loose end date, or when you think you'll be ready or want to present a report to the board? That's usually part of the charge, just. It's not totally open-ended, but somewhere if there's a target issue, I mean, it can always be adjusted, obviously.
Well, you know, David, we would like to have it done sooner rather than later.
Right.
Because we want to get going. We want to have
Right.
a gathering spot. But that being said, by the
Thinking
time,
for the next cycle of
there you go.
budgeting and
I would say,
CIP, and
yes.
so it'd be next.
So 2023.
September 20th, I think that's gonna, yeah, that's the earliest we're gonna be able to present
Exactly.
our recommendations.
By the time we speak to everyone that we need to.
Excellent.
Right.
Conversations
Give
with-
yourself some time
Yeah.
to
Right.
really get the input that you need from.
Exactly. Should we receive approval to form an official committee? Obviously, we still have voting members to recruit into the committee, so we haven't proceeded very far down any kind of planning stage at this point because we want to remain open-minded. Obviously, there's a considerable amount of feedback from various town organizations, groups, as you
Right.
see in the charge itself. So, yeah, we've got quite a bit of work out of us.
I do have an eager candidate that I met with the other morning with Darcy and this woman, her name escapes me, but she is real active in our pickleball.
Oh, yes. Yes.
There's like 100 people now that
Yeah.
are desperate and they're
Which
looking for
is like
space.
awesome.
And I said, I know you're focused on this, but we are setting up a committee
Mhm.
just for the overall. So if you're gung ho to help and work, and so like I said, I would pass her name along. Once this-
I think I have her contact.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think so too.
Fiscal as well. Yeah.
She made her rounds.
We need a motion to adopt this, maybe,
Yeah.
We would, but, I just, so you talked about a timeline. So the building committee, I don't know if you already know, is, let the CIP know that 5 years is, they want to stop spending money on that bill.
You mentioned that last meeting.
Right, so it's, well, so there is kind of a
There is like a move.
deadline.
5 years.
And then, your charge A, where you talk about engaged community with respect to creating a welcome gathering place. Are you proceeding that to include? My interest is to make sure we, address the needs of the current users of the community building, the gymnasium. More than just a welcoming place, but, to use those services, you including that in the gathering?
Absolutely, absolutely. And the reason we didn't specifically mention it that way, Tim Fish, 12 Hampshire Hills Drive, is because it's much more than that, the way we view it. We didn't really want to kind of pinpoint one item or 5 items, it might be 100. But we view it as a much larger project than just one pickleball court.
Yeah.
one,
That's the
you know.
The pickleball court, but that's the, to me, that's the one I get the most calls about is
Sure.
what's happening to our gymnasium.
And,
And you're not just looking solely at, the intersection. You're also gonna consider about, the former Bow Youth Center property also, is that part of that?
yeah, we've already received feedback about the potential for a gymnasium at that particular property. So we're pretty open-minded about the approach. Obviously, again, the charge is one such that we're going to need to get feedback from the town. And like I said, certain organizations, town members, different boards that are active as to what's best for the town. Recognizing that particular intersection can use a little TLC. And needs it pretty quick, considering the recommendation to, stop maintaining the current building that's there in 5 years. So, but yeah, I don't think anything at this particular juncture, we haven't picked a particular path. And again, we still have voting members we need to bring in, should you approve.
I think it's just important to appreciate that the CIP having an opinion regarding the future of a single building is not a policymaking board of the town. And ultimately, this board and ultimately the town meeting will decide when we stop spending money on it.
Exactly, absolutely.
Dave, you can read.
Yeah, I'll redo that.
So that it's in our normal traffic form. Any other questions or comments from the board?
Not just that, as I said at the last meeting, I'd like to be the select board representative if I could, unless someone else is dying to be on it, but this is something I'd like to see happen as well.
Chris, you want to make your motion?
I'd like to make a motion to adopt the town center committee charge as outlined on page 2 of our packet with the formatting edits that David Stack will make.
Second, are we gonna establish a committee at the same time, it's just a charge?
Whole thing.
The whole thing.
All in one.
I think.
It's established, right, yeah.
Any discussion on that? All in favor of establishing the town center committee and adopting the draft charges amended by or revised by Dave Stack?
Aye.
Aye.
Do we need to
Any
appoint,
opposition? No, all in favor? Unanimous?
do we need to appoint the first 3 members, or we're gonna do that as a total?
We actually have a few more members,
Do you want to do it all next meeting?
or we can do it all now if you want. We know who they are.
I've got Fish, Hunter, Murphy.
And we have Janet Shaw, and we have David Cook as the representative from the Building and Facilities Committee.
I'd like to make a motion that Tim Fish, David Cook as a member of the Building and Facilities Committee are appointed as the first 5 members of the town center committee.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Would it be appropriate to make a motion to nominate Matt Colleen as our select board rep?
I think it would be.
Motion to nominate Matt Colleen as a select board rep.
I'm happy to serve as alternate if needed.
And since nobody's made a second,
I seconded that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'd be happy to add that as a amendment.
Perfect. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? See unanimously. All right, get to work.
Fantastic.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
See you guys.
Thank you.
Take care.
All right, the consent agenda, town manager's report.
Yes, Sawmill Road, Macaulay subdivision, this is the one they jumped the gun and started cutting trees. We've stopped the tree cutting, we sent John Lazowski, our code enforcement consultant or contractor out. They've raised some questions with subdivision regs versus state timber cut laws. I've talked with council, it's pretty clear in his mind that our subdivision regs trump the laws, but he is talking with their attorney to resolve, but they have stopped, they've been allowed to remove development post the position where resumes are coming in and some do have some experience. So I'm hopeful on this round that we will find our new director. In fact, I spoke with one person today and I'm lining up a couple more to talk just with me, and then we'll take them to the interview panel.
Does that have anything, was partly coming out of the Plymouth State thing, Bruce, that you were doing, or no?
Not sure where the.
I may have one.
Yeah.
I may have one. I did talk to the professor did get back to me and said, unfortunately, I think I told you guys, discontinued the particular program that he thought people would be.
Oh.
But he does, keep in touch with recent graduates. And I think it was Saturday or tomorrow. It's being held on Saturday. And the BDC members, Matt, a few others will be staffing a table for the BDC. We were going to do a lunch and a post thing, but in talking with Amelia, the library, it seemed to work better we'll still set up in breakfast type things. So we can put some members in there too, and people, the business owners can go on in.
So on that point, I was gonna bring it up on the bottom lines, but are we gonna have we're supposed to bring some of those charts down for us, the TIF district charts?
Yeah, Ginger's working on those.
Ginger's gonna take care of that?
Yeah.
All right, I just want to demonstrate to you, you weren't.
Yeah, she and I worked on it the other day. And
Okay.
She's gathering some stuff.
I don't want, if we need to, I can come here and pick something up in the morning, but.
Retirement, Jeanette Schumann in our community development department is retiring at the end of October. She's worked for the town for 18 years. And she said she will miss us all. Health insurance premium increases, we just heard they are 11% for our group. 15th this week is Fire Prevention Week in our department. Bunch of different activities. Beards for Bucks we hit on. It's a fundraiser for the Merrimack County Advocacy Center. We work with them. They do a great job. They work with children who've been victims of abuse, and they help them, a whole bunch of different ways, but they get them ready or able to talk about or testify if they need to. So they do that every year. You saw some. So don't worry, let me go. He's trying to. New assistant director Shannon Kamara will be starting with the town on October 17th. And Darcy's excited. I met with her today. You can already see she sees relief in sight. So she's said she can't wait to get to fun and new recreation programs beyond taking project. Tim and I met with the engineers. They've completed all the geotechnical info. Expect to have a report into us within a few weeks. And then they will have the 60% design report done the end of November, and they're gonna meet with the board to present that. That's our next phase. And the key to that one too is that they'll have a revised cost estimate. And then if the board wants to continue on, we'll go to final design. That's all.
What's this with the pickleball?
Yep, that's the pickleball group. Yeah, that's the one that they were she wanted to start tomorrow. She was very into it. She thought, all right, great person.
Discussion action items, minutes.
Motion to approve the minutes.
Section.
Yeah, just on
You stay in.
Sandy Crystal went to drive. On the paragraph,
Page 5.
I don't have it in front of me.
Page 1 of minutes.
You're on page 5.
Okay. We actually are continuing to monitor Turry Pond, and we started monitoring White Brook. And then I also wanted to, if it could be added that in, what I had said, that in 2023, the commission will make the last bond payment on Hammond.
What month?
And August, I think, 2023.
So we got a year.
Thank you, Sandy.
Sure, thank you.
Any other comments on the minutes from September 27th?
As a minute.
And then allocation coronavirus statement, local fiscal recovery fund, David.
Yes, the town meeting had approved a withdrawal of $105,100 for new forestry trucks. Quote that they've received is $182,088, and this is the company that provided us with the truck that we bought. Years ago now, 3 years ago, they're using ARPA funds. Adjust their capital reserve fund spreadsheet.
I think my personal opinion is 80% more.
The
Any other discussion? What do you need from us on that too? Just looking for a motion to approve the 77 from ARPA.
right.
So if we don't use the ARPA funds, they're gone after this year?
No, we're good till December 23 to commit funds.
All right.
So you could just vote not to approve.
We don't have to do anything.
Yeah, because it's
It's, just so you know, we had the chief come and talk to us on the CIP meeting. The fire truck, isn't just a forestry truck, it's the tank and the pump on it, which on our existing truck is, replacement. So, I just wanted you to know that. So, all right, so that'll go to, let's go back to the town meeting.
yeah, we'll bring it to CIP and they can.
No, chief was gonna, because that estimate of 182,088 was from May. So he was gonna get a new one. Did he get that already?
I'll check.
Because that may not, my number may have gone up or down. I don't know yet. Very cool.
I think we're seeing a recession maybe driven, but cars back on lots. I drove by a couple auto, some car dealers this weekend, and there were stacks of new cars filed.
So there's a lot of them headed out of Detroit.
That's a lot
dealers.
related to the chips.
Yeah, because chips are flowing.
More chips.
Next item appears to.
Yes, and we do not have that estimate yet.
Wait a minute. Oh, I'm sorry.
Number 3.
I was reading the next page of what was the next item.
Yeah, but we don't have the numbers.
Yeah, we don't have that
Push that
estimate.
to
We'll
next
table it to the next meeting.
I was gonna make a motion to authorize the $44,364 for the accessibility with Electrical Recreation Center.
Second.
Is there any discussion on item 4 or the action items? All in favor of temporary licenses?
Rocky Point Development to allow them to do some test wells. They haven't yet had a chance to do that. They're asking us to give them a 1-year extension. I'd like to make a motion to give them a 1-year extension to the test wells, so we can maybe someday finally solve the water problem issues of it.
Yeah.
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Number 6, request to close a portion of Willis Lane. What's this, Dave?
Yeah, they would have a block part and everyone is signed off on it, OPEVO, Fire Department and DPW, so they just need the board's permission to to close.
So I'll make that as a motion.
Is it contingent on you getting invited to?
I want to be there, right?
I'll cut to the wood.
I'll second it.
Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Where is Woodland Circle?
Wilderness. Thank you.
Acceptance from the Hampshire Department of Safety for 8,400.
I like a motion, we accept $800 for additional patrol.
Any discussion?
Second.
Any discussion? There being none, all in favor? All right.
I just need authors.
Amend the motion to allow David to sign for it.
Agreeable.
Accept the second friendly amendment.
We have one looking for all of our building permits for, I think, the last 5 years or something.
But lucky for us, they're in. Yeah.
It's all every single 2 years, 3 years. It's from the Concord Monitor, so I think they're
Curious Accurate Tree
their
Service.
annual right to know.
Is that an accident or something?
What was the second one?
Accurate Tree Service is an accident or something?
Yeah, what was that?
Oh, yes, it was an accident.
Yeah, probably was, yeah.
And the second one,
Is it a request for a police report or an accident report
right to know.
really a right to know?
No.
We shouldn't be logging them as right to know.
But I think we have to have a new policy.
Your police report or your accident report.
Public record.
Right, we should just go right to the.
Well, if you're involved in the incident, then you have a right to a copy of it. But if someone else wants it, it's a right to know.
Sure, I understand, but I think, look at this list of people making requests for their own matters. A good number of them on here.
Yeah.
Could we ask for some help from
Yep.
our attorney to draft that?
What was the second one? Request for a phone call from the police and the requester, Brian Malazzo.
Yeah, and that one's.
But
Maybe we should,
911?
they're not recorded.
No, I don't know if it's just a business call or.
Like a 911 call, we don't give those.
No, and this was, he's asking on a recorded line, and we don't have a recorded line.
Would NHMA, would their attorneys there, since we're a member of the NHMA, would they be able to, they might have some language already for towns, amending like a right to know request.
Oh, instead of-
language and-
Instead of as a right to know, doing just a police report.
Yeah, they might have something ready.
Just make sure our
instead of-
MLP is compliant.
So our attorney, our town attorney can maybe
Or no,
not.
I think it's a matter of
Maybe
just
something
clarifying,
something
because the
like that.
statute really covers what's, I would say, 911A. And then there's another statute that covers the police reports and who gets it.
For individuals.
Yeah,
So I don't think we need a policy, that's more than just to clarify that police understand the two statutes.
and that might be just a simple question, you know, NHMA may have already dealt with that sort of thing, and they may have something right away that we don't need to bother our attorney for.
Okay,
Coronavirus state and local fiscal recovery fund, what do you have for updates on that, Dave?
nothing has changed. We'll just remove the, that's it for now.
All right.
but we never actually voted on putting a security gate, right?
No,
That's a discussion.
yeah, we're just getting the numbers.
Outstanding projects?
Oh, I'm sorry, the other question I had, it reminded me, at one time we had the elevator, I think, for the rec center
Mm-hmm.
in here. Does the board want to consider that, or do we want just to use revolving funds for that?
I'd like to make a motion that we, if permitted, use the ARPA grant money for that,
The lift.
to the lift. Somebody want to second that?
A second, yeah, by all means.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you.
You know, set. Anything on the outstanding project list, David?
That was the lead stuff.
Is there a working way around a consent agenda for us to sign?
Mike, say again?
Consent agenda.
Oh, and you have number 4, that you have an update or something you gotta go over, or is that part of your?
Yeah, we just have to have a quick knock.
No,
Please.
number 4.
Oh, over there. Oh, yeah, I gave it.
They're coming in next,
That was the.
they're coming in
Alright,
November.
It's already deeded.
Okay, sorry.
She just was reporting.
Okay. Bottom line, Angela?
Just thank you in advance to the recycling committee and volunteers for the upcoming hazardous waste day, October 15th.
Chris?
Though I missed it, I think we had a green energy education session recently. I wish that, was out of town, trumpeting what's out there and opportunities. And remember to go to DPW, dump your hazardous waste.
Thanks to Janet Schuman, 18 years. I don't know if we can gather a card, a letter or something, Tanya, if you can make that so by the next meeting, we can have something signed before she leaves, please. Trunk or treats the 30th. I'll probably see you guys before then, but I know Bruce, I'll throw some candy in if the rest of you guys can. My sister and I are gonna put together a Dr. Seuss themed tent this year. So yeah, 1 fish, 2 fish, red fish, blue fish. The business of business is this Saturday. Unfortunately, it coincides right with the waste day. So if you could make that, that would be great at the library. And I did go to the energy committee thing in Dunbarton, the combined between Dunbarton and Concord, sorry. And that was well done. It was, they had a few vendors that didn't show up. Unfortunately, I think it was the 2 solar people, but had a lot of great information. I actually signed up for someone to come over and do at my house, an energy audit or whatever they call it. So that was really neat. If any of you get over there, kudos to Jessica Dunbar and her group. Littleton, I know one of them involved. So that went really, really well. That's it. Mike?
I have nothing to add. It's already said. Just briefly, I want to thank everybody that helped do the fundraising to bring on board Boris and the police department for organizing all that so we could get our new K9 unit up and running. So other than that, we need to, those of you watching on Zoom or live stream, we're gonna, I believe, go into non-public. We will not be coming back to queue for watching with us tonight.
So motion to move into RSA 91A 3-2, Tanya? 2, it says 2.
I didn't know we were having a non-public session.
Oh, all right, so what, do you know what the letter is?
For contracts.
Contracts.
So C, I believe.
Yes,
The leads.
Oh, E?
I don't think.
Cell tower leads.
Yes.
And then I get it right here.
Thanks, Sandy.
Good night, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good to hear you.
Yeah, D.
So that's, yep.
I'll second that.
Roll call vote.
Aye. Aye.
Well,